Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala rasulil kareem amma ba'd. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has distributed His ni'mats amongst His servants. Different servants got different types of ni'mat Allah has given to them. And the purpose of that is we can see somebody with some ni'mat and we can get encouragement from there, how to achieve that ni'mat or how to utilize that ni'mat. Sometimes we have got the same ni'mat with us, but we don't know how to utilize that ni'mat. So you see somebody Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala given some ni'mat, we get understanding how to utilize that ni'mat sometimes. And sometimes somebody's got ni'mat which we haven't got, that you can learn the proper manner how to achieve that ni'mat for yourself. Yeah, Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in one hadith explains that two people concerning whom we can have jealousy for. There's one is person whom Allah has given him wealth, and he spends in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In every news where Allah ta'ala has commanded him, he spends in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala freely and openly spends in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And one is a person whom Allah has given him knowledge, he utilizes that knowledge to help the people solve their problems, utilizes that knowledge to create harmony and peace, utilizes that knowledge to create justice with one another, give justice to one another, to the people who need that justice. So these two people are such, Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam say, it is, a person can have jealousy for these two people, besides that jealousy is not acceptable at all. So what does it mean by jealousy? Jealousy normally means that person has got some ni'mat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you desire that he must be deprived of that ni'mat, and you must get that ni'mat. Or you don't get that ni'mat also, that person must be deprived of that ni'mat. But in this context here, where this hadith means here, this jealousy means ghibta. Ghibta means to have envy. Okay. In Urdu they call it, you must have the rashk and envy that. Otherwise, Allah has given somebody some ni'mat, then we have that envy. It's not Allah has given him, very well he can have that ni'mat, but Allah must give me also that ni'mat also. So we don't desire that he must be deprived of that ni'mat, but we desire that Allah must give us also that ni'mat, that we can also utilize the ni'mat in this manner we can utilize the ni'mat. So this is where Nabi Kareem Sallallahu has and we understand that these two people here, you can have this desire within yourself that Allah must give us also the ni'mat Allah has given him, and we can utilize the ni'mat according to the manner shown to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the first person will see that what Allah has given him, the wealth, he spends in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Wherever Allah Ta'ala has commanded him to spend, he spends in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala openly and help the people, and he appreciates the ni'mat by following the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and spending in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So here Hazrat Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhu narration says that person whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given him wealth and spends so much in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, abiding to the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as if he is just spending freely without having the feeling that he's going to lose out in anything. So this person is called Ghani Shakir, it is called. A person is a wealthy person who is appreciative of Allah Ta'ala's ni'mat. We call gratitude for the ni'mat that Allah Ta'ala has given to him. The second person mentioned here, that person whom Allah Ta'ala has given him knowledge, and with that knowledge he helps people solve their problems with justice. He maintains justice among the people. Those whom have the rights been violated, he helps them get the rights back again. So this person here, he helps the people according to the people's needs. So the person may do what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and desire, I must also have knowledge in this manner where I can help many people like that, solve their problems, be kind to the people. In one hadith it comes when Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said the best person is that person who is of help to somebody else. Khairun nas ma yanfa'un nas, who's help to somebody. So with your knowledge, if you can benefit somebody and make somebody's life a better life, nothing better than that. So the knowledge Allah has given to you, utilize it in a proper manner to help people come out of their problems and help people to get respect also at the same time. And at the same time you'll find in hadith it comes, and the person has given some knowledge and you hide away that knowledge, you don't help anybody, then on the day of Qiyamah Allah Ta'ala will put a garland of fire around his neck. So when Allah has given us some ni'mat, then we could utilize the ni'mat according to guidelines shown to us by Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Then we have appreciated the ni'mat Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to us. And concerning this, the ulama have written also that every question a person asks is not worthy to be given an answer to that also. As the Mustafs right say that in our lifta, people ask a lot of questions. People ask irrelevant questions. They ask irrelevant questions. There is no answer to that. Yes, but where there is a relevant question where people go to solve the problems, the queries, there you go to help them and answer that question for them. For example, a person asks you how much we did our namaz, and you know the rules of how to read namaz. You know the masala of how to read namaz. Now you don't teach him how to read namaz. You don't assist him now. Now you are sinning now. Because there is given knowledge how to read namaz and not helping next person how to improve his namaz. The masail for roza, for example, you know the masail for roza now. If someone asks what was the in roza, and you don't give the information how to correct his roza, how to look after his Ramadan, now you are hiding away the knowledge Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to you, for that to be taken to task. So those things which will benefit the people, there you don't have to show that you are very humble, or you don't have to help someone. It's not that. There you go to help the people solve their problem. Someone ask you how must I break up my broken relation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you know how to answer that question. You don't answer that question, you don't help them out, then you are a sinner now. Otherwise, the broken relation to connect with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, by means of tawbah you will make. Teach how to make tawbah and connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the more people you help deen-wise, the more better a person you are, in other words. So the knowledge Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you, to utilize the knowledge to help the people as much as possible. So here, two things I mentioned in this hadith here. One is that you go to help and the people what Allah has given to you. In other words, the rights which are focused towards you. For example, you got wives and children, you got to look after them, maintenance you got to look after. Or you got parents, you got to look after your parents. You fall in that responsibility of yours, then you'll be answerable for that. So wherever you are responsible for where you got to look after someone, and Allah has given you that ni'mat, and you fall in that obligation of yours, then you will be answerable for that. And the second thing is that the knowledge Allah has given to you, you must look after that knowledge and spread the knowledge among the people, that the people can do the right thing and come close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Another hadith is mentioned that the person whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given knowledge of the Quran, doesn't know the Quran, يقوم به آناء الليل وآناء النهار. The whom Allah has given the ni'mat of the Quran, and that person now, he values the ni'mat of Allah in such a manner that day and night he keeps on reading the Quran. It is namaz, and Quran in namaz also, and out of namaz also, and he values that ni'mat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this will say that this person has valued the ni'mat Allah has given to him. So the value, the ni'mat of Quran Allah has given to somebody, that person fulfills the ni'mat, the rights of the ni'mat by reading the Quran again and again. Whether looking at the Quran, whether looking without the Quran, whether in namaz, without namaz, he reads the Quran again and again, so that this person has valued the ni'mat of the Quran Allah has given to him. You know very well, the month of Ramadan is coming very near also. If we keep this in mind, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the ni'mat of reading the Quran, whether you are Hafiz or not a Hafiz, but you know how to read the Quran. So our responsibility now to show gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by reading as much as possible Quran in the month of Ramadan, and try and excel people in reading Quran, to bring about it environment in our homes that the Quran will draw Allah Ta'ala's mercies. The more Quran we read in our homes, the more Allah Ta'ala's mercies will come in our homes. So try and make an environment of reading more Quran in our homes. The Shaykh Rahmatullah alayhi, he writes, he says that in my home, the ladies in the home, in spite of looking after the visitors also, cooking the food also, looking after their children also, everything, they read up to 2/3 of the Quran daily. Some read up 3/4 of the Quran daily they read. See, just to explain you that and how they value the month of Ramadan and the ni'mat of reading the Quran also. So in that case we try and understand how to value the month of Ramadan by reading excess Quran. then inshallah we'll benefit in that, in the same way we will benefit also. So here, the month of Ramadan is there for us to improve ourselves, to recharge ourselves spiritually, to make ourselves come to a high spiritually. That month of Ramadan will help us through the whole year. So ulama has explained that the person who looks after his month, his Friday, otherwise he spends his Friday properly, in obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, fulfills ma'mulat also properly also, reading all his wazaif properly also, then the effect of that Friday will last for the whole week. Allah will save him from guna, disobedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that person who looks after his Ramadan, then that person, his whole year will go very well. The effect of the Ramadan will last for the whole year, till next Ramadan. And a person who looks after his Hajj, very carefully performs his Hajj, without any guna, then that person's whole life will change forever. So it depends how we're going to look after ourselves, how we're going to train ourselves to draw the mercies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So in the month of Ramadan, we could read a lot of Quran also, make a lot of Tawbah Istighfar also, plan for our future. We don't know when death is going to come. Nobody knows when death is going to come. So it's important that we prepare for our death, and that this is the opportune time that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to us to prepare ourselves for the month of Ramadan. Next hadith here, Messenger of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, who says that some of the poor muhajirin came to Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and told Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that the wealthy people are going to be ahead of us in Jannat. They will take high positions in Jannat, and we can't take these positions. We can understand from here the Sahaba Kiram's mean, what was their mentality, what was their thinking pattern. They only worried how they can come to close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how they can reach high stages in Jannat. That was the whole focus in their life, was that. So that was the type of questions they asked Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So yeah, they asked this question to Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Some say, how is that possible? So he said that we read namaz, and wealthy people also read namaz. We keep roza, and wealthy people also keep roza. But they have got wealth with them. With the wealth they keep sadaqah also, they give khairat also. At the same time, they help the poor people also in many ways. They help the poor people, and they free slaves also. So otherwise they are getting more sawab than us. So they are achieving high stages in Jannat, and we won't get to high stages. We won't achieve the high stages in Jannat. So can you imagine where was their thinking pattern? They were more worried of how to achieve high stages in Jannat now, because they're going to get high stages. What about us now? How are we going to get it? So Nabi Kareem Sallallahu heard this, the request of theirs, and told him, Masashiru, such a thing. If you read that wazifa you read, then you will get higher stages like them, and people who read that wazifa also will get high stages also. And you will excel other people also in good work also. So Sahaba Kiram got very happy and told him, surely show us that method and way, how we can excel and go reach high stages than the wealthy people also. So in Nabi Kareem tells that after every farz namaz, read 33 times Subhanallah, 33 times Alhamdulillah, and 33 times Allahu Akbar. So simple method Nabi Kareem taught the Sahaba. And now this poor Sahaba now, they start reading this, after every namaz they start reading this tasbih now. Now the wealthy Sahabas, when they came, they saw, what are this poor Sahaba reading, what is reading so much? Why are they reading something? They came to find out that these people went to Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, asked this question to Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and Islam taught them this, that they get the high stages in Jannah. So when they heard this, immediately they started reading the same, this also started reading. Now the Sahaba, when they went back to Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that they are also reading the same tasbih which we are reading now. Now how can we excel them now? On that Nabi Kareem Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, ذَلِكَ فَضْلُ اللَّهِ يُؤْتِيهِ مَن يَشَاءُ. That this is the favor which Allah Ta'ala gives some of His servants, which now we cannot deny that now. In other words, the mentality shown to us that they are more worried how to better their akhirat, how to get higher stages in Jannah. That was how desire within themselves. And today, look at ourselves now. What is our situation? Our situation is we are worried how much have a better home, how much have a better business. If somebody got one factory, you must have two factories. How much excel somebody and materially must excel somebody. That is our desire and hope always. And by the Sahaba Ikram, it was different, completely different to us. They had the desire of how to get the high stages in Jannah all the time. That's why all the questions they asked Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam also in the same pattern it was. And you find that you won't find in the hadith anywhere where any Sahaba went to Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and asked Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, make dua that my business will flourish. Make dua, I must beat the next person in his business. That person's business is flourishing so much, I must go ahead of him. You won't find this type of thing in the hadith anywhere. The Sahaba went and asked Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam for this type of dua. It shows that the difference in their attitude and our attitude. They are more worried of doing more good work, more naked excellent in good work in naked and not in the material world, because they knew the reality of life. Once your eyes close, the reality will come in front of you after that. So whatever we have done in this world, that is going to help you in the year after is going to help you. So we could keep this in mind, that now we could make our nature such that always worry of the akhirah. How can we excel ourselves in the year after? What actions must we do to gain higher stages in Jannah? If we have that within ourselves, then our life is a success in this world. That's the aim and object of our lives in this world, is to prepare for our akhirah. And remember, this world is called Darul Amal. It's a place where you're going to make actions, deeds you're going to do. And akhirat is called Darul Jaza is called, where you're going to get the return of what you did in this world. After you pass away, you cannot do any good work at all. This chapter is closed completely. But while you are alive, you can do as much good action as you please. That will help you in the year after now. So it's our responsibility to see now what type of life you want to live in this world. And Ramadan is an opportune moment now for us to think how to plan our future. We plan our future from now in the month of Ramadan. We get used to this, the amal and good actions. After Ramadan also it will carry on. Allah Ta'ala gave us this Shab-e Barat, for example. That night we had to spend to make tawbah to Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala, to plan for our future, plan for our Ramadan. And we put the planning from now already in the system that could be punctual with our ma'mulat now, punctual with our namaz with jamaat, whatever it is. When Ramadan comes, you're already punctual with the namaz already now. And now after Ramadan, that habit will stay in you all the time now, that I must read my namaz with jamaat now. I must carry out my tasbihat, must carry out with my Quran. So that effect will remain with you all the time till the next Ramadan come again now. So each Ramadan is trying to improve yourself spiritually, and you are progressing. And you see what were the habits of the Sahaba Ikram mean. The habit, whenever you meet one another, you should ask the person that how much Quran did you read, how much namaz did you read. You should ask one another how much is connected with Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala, how much they progress in that. When we meet one another, our discussion is completely different, opposite to that. So we could try and understand that we could, when we meet one another also, we could encourage one another that how much spiritually have progressed. Then that is now called real khair. We are kind towards one another, help one another to also go in Jannah and take higher stages in Jannah also. So from here we try and make our mind that now Ramadan is time around the corner, but plan from now. Because Nabi Karim Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam taught us planning. When the month of Rajab starts, they already told us to make dua, Rajab or Shaban. From then on, told us to plan from now, from Rajab already, 2 months ahead for Ramadan. And at the same time, Nabi Sallallahu taught us that the importance of Ramadan also, in other words. How important the month of Ramadan is. Don't waste your time in Ramadan. Try and achieve the maximum benefit from the month of Ramadan. So this planning, Nabi Sallallahu taught us for 2 months before already. And similarly, whatever we do in our life, we go to prepare from before. So we have planning, that person has planning within himself. That person always becomes successful. He establishes a lot of things. The person who's got no planning, he doesn't establish anything. Hazrat one day explained, he said one person was a very greedy person he was. And one day somebody came and invited him for some, whatever feast they had. And after that, another person also invited him for the feast also. Now he thought, where must I go and eat now? One person was on the right side, other person was on the left hand side. First he thought, let me go to the person who was on the right hand side. He moved a little distance, he thought, no man, I think that other person's dawat will be more better, not this person's dawat. So he started going in the other direction again now. When he went a little further, the other person's dawat looks better, I think. And he went that way. In that manner, he couldn't reach his destination and he never get anything. Because he couldn't plan himself whose invitation to accept. But if you plan itself from before, the invitation came first, I'm going to accept the invitation and everything's over. So she should have gone, she should have eaten the meal and she has benefited already. But because there was no planning in him, what he agreed within himself, he was deprived of everything. Same manner, we got to plan ourselves in such a way that we actually make some benefit from month of Ramadan. We don't plan ourselves. Then while Ramadan is coming, you're still planning ourselves. What must we do? By the time you finish your planning, Ramadan is over already. Now you're going to regret what happened now. So we've got to plan from before how we spend month of Ramadan. In the same way, you must think now, out of Ramadan, how we spend our days. We use our time in eating, for example. In Ramadan, you're not going to eat now. What are you going to do at that time? And out of Ramadan, use our time to, for example, go visit people, whatever it is, we do some other work we do. Ramadan, we're not going to do all those things now. What do you do at that time now? That time mustn't be lost time. If you have a mizaj, nature within ourselves, that our lost time, bring it to use, then after Ramadan also, that nature will stay with you. That mizaj will stay with you. Your lost time, will cover it, collect in such a manner to bring to use that lost time. So you can try to have that nature from now, that our lost time must be made beneficial for us. And do that from now, then after Ramadan also you'll find that nature will stay with you, that you won't let the lost time go to waste, but bring it to use. For example, coming to the masjid now. You come to the masjid now, for example, you come for Maghrib namaz, you came. We read our Maghrib namaz, and after namaz, some of the people go out of the masjid. And some people stay in the masjid and they read the sunnat also, they read the nafil also, the awabin they read also, they read the tasbih also, and then they go out of the masjid. So these people who are in the masjid, who go out of the masjid after 5-10 minutes, when you go out, what they see? Those people who left the masjid earlier, they're still talking outside. What are they talking? Nothing benefit. What happened here, what happened there, that's what they're discussing something of politics, which got nothing to do with them, and by them discussing there, you're not going to solve any problem also. So now, when that person was talking also for the 10 minutes, what benefit did he get? He utilized that wasted time of his in the masjid for the 10-15 minutes, how much would he benefit? Now in the hadith, the person goes to the masjid and they read namaz, and goes to the masjid is the place where Allah Ta'ala's rahmat comes down. That's why when you enter the masjid, make dua also. Allah Ta'ala Baba Rahmatik make dua. Allah will open up the rahmat for us, that we can draw the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So what is the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Allah Ta'ala says, when you enter the masjid now, while you're waiting for the jamaat, you're not doing anything, just wait for jamaat. Allah is rewarding you for reading namaz in that time. How kind Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is now. And after that, if you're reading Quran, doing some tasbih, some zikr, doing some dua, additional sahab you are getting already now. Then Nabi Karim Sallallahu will say that you are waiting for namaz, then what Allah Ta'ala sends 2 farishtas down to make dua for barakat for you. They make barakat for you and forgiveness for you, they make dua for you. Imagine now, Nurani Makhluk, they don't make guna at all, they're making dua for you. The dua will definitely be accepted in your favor, will be accepted. Now they make dua for you, for forgiveness also, for barakat for you also now. Now when namaz starts, what happened now? You're reading namaz with jamaat now, you get 27 times more sawab you're getting already. And you see the takbir ula, the fazal of that is different again. When your ameen coincides the ameen of the imam, Allah Ta'ala forgive all your sins also. How are you benefiting now? And after the namaz is over, now you sit for a little while in the masjid and remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Nabi Karim Sallallahu will say, Allah Ta'ala send the same farishtas again to make dua for you, forgiveness and for barakat again for you. Now imagine how high spiritual you have gone now already. Coming to the masjid, drawing the mercies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, connecting yourself to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now when leaving the masjid, what would the dua? Nabi Sallallahu will make a dua again. Ask Allah Ta'ala for Allah's fazl, ask Allah Ta'ala. What does it mean now? You will go into an environment which is away from the environment of the masjid. Allah must help you and guide you and help you to get halal rosy also at the same time, and not to fall into some mistakes and then go after it. So with that perspective, you are from masjid now, your mind is always towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When must I come back to the masjid again now? So if with this perspective we come to the masjid, imagine 5 times a day we come to masjid with this perspective in our mind, what will be our conditions? How close will we come to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? So that is what we could understand. The house of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a place to draw the mercies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, provided we act ourselves according to that, to derive the mercies of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we come with that perspective to the masjid, we'll see that will change will come into our lives automatically. When after the masjid also, our mind will attach with the masjid always. And those people whose minds hearts are attached towards the masjid, it comes the hadith that those people on the day of Qiyamah, they will get a place under the shade of the throne of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of Qiyamah. Which our hearts are attached to the masjid always now. So that's what we're going to prepare from now, we're going to plan from now. In Ramadan, spend more time in the masjid then. The more time you spend in the masjid, in the company of the farishtas, angels, we get more time to read the Quran, more time to read tasbih, more time to make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, more time to plan for your future, how much what will you do. And when Allah Ta'ala, it comes to hadith also in Ramadan, Allah Ta'ala accepts every moment, one dua Allah accepts also. So the dua you are making, at that time of acceptance for your dua, Allah accepts your dua. Then you are benefiting already again. So the Ramadan we will try and see how we look after our Ramadan in such a manner that we spend our time in tilawat also, in namaz. For example, you got qaza namaz. Make a habit starting our qaza namaz from now, starting the planning. Ramadan starting extra qaza namaz you read also. A time will come and Allah will complete all your qaza namaz and start reading your nafil namaz after that also. So plan from now for Ramadan, from now, that the future can become a better future. The understanding must be understanding of the Sahaba Kiram's meaning. If you have that understanding with ourselves, then we are successful, we got no problem. But our understanding is not the understanding of the Sahaba Kiram's meaning, then we are faltering some way. We've got to change our understanding. That's why it's important that we stay in company of good people. We stay in company of good people, we learn good things. And you practice on good things, then you are benefiting them. But if you stay in company of bad people, they learn bad things from there and become spoiled in that manner there. So you could try and then they will try and there's no better environment than the environment of the masjid. You spend more time in the masjid, then you are benefiting always, and have a balance in your ibadah, whatever it is. Don't go to the extremes. You go to the extremes, and that's also not acceptable. You go to the extremes and violate the rights of your family, violate the rights of your parents, that also is not acceptable. There was one person, he said, I will look after my father is very sick, I will look after him now. I said, what about namaz is very important. He said, oh, namaz, but khidmat of the parents is very important. And we started with khidmat of the parents. Now, the beginning you got a josh to khidmat. But after some time, you got tired now. How can khidmat now? I'm getting tired, my sleep is disturbed also, life is being disturbed also now. Now he left the father and went to the masjid to read namaz now. Plus he reading namaz so much now, what about the father? So this is more important, this first. Now this person, they lose out, they also lose out, their both sides lost out. Because going to the extremes going. If you keep everything in a limit, then should benefit, both people should benefit. So we mustn't go to the extremes in making our ibadat and our responsibility. Be within the limits, then inshallah we will benefit properly from the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah ta'ala give us tawfiq of practicing and looking after the month of Ramadan, how we are supposed to look after the month of Ramadan, and be grateful and thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now we're going to have a zikr for a little while. And we all know that Allah has given us a heart, got feelings in our hearts. And we've got to look after that feelings, and we've got to support that feelings. The feelings are supported by the brain, by our thoughts. Understand? If the thoughts support our feelings, then we become a better person. And our brains are supported by the Shariat, then we become a better person. But the thoughts are not supported by the Shariat, then we lose out completely. So your mind and heart must be connected to one another with the laws of Shariat. That's why we make zikr, to make our heart attached to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The more zikr we make, the more we come close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The more our hearts attached to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the more benefit we derive. That's why we have our heart to come under control. When the feelings come under control, when you've got Allah ta'ala in your heart, you've got everything you want. So that's why we make zikr. And time makes zikr with that perception, with that intention in mind, clean your heart from all the evil from heart and all everything besides Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we can benefit with the zikr also. And we have salatu salam also and make dua also, inshallah. Allah accept our dua also. Salam.